Keep on this time. Heavy is the head. I see the boat throwing. I'm too full with it. I gotta keep going. Kobe with the wins. You niggas just Ginobili. You winning only cause of me. Let's keep the ball rolling. No disrespect, Slim. Where is your check, Slim?
Welcome to another episode of the You Want That podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Abby here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the You Want That podcast on YouTube and follow us on IG and TikTok at You Want That podcast. I wanted to do an intro today because today's episode is a little bit different as far as format and how we typically do things with the usual watcher. We got into some real stuff today. I hadn't realized how many people have lost a parent and how deeply that affects people. And I wanted to be considerate of that, considerate of these people in the conversation, and also just not like interrupt the flow of a meaningful talk. So the format is different today. The conversation is no less meaningful. I'm so honored to have had Ryan and Ray sit with me today and just give me real talk. It was informative. I learned a lot, and it was an honor. So hopefully you guys respect and appreciate what we were able to do today, what we tried to do today. Hopefully you like it. If you did, make sure you leave a comment and let us know. If you didn't, leave a comment about that too.
There's so much knowledge that you get, and we talk about that healing process.
Yeah,
that's important to me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that, but I always say this to Ken too, and I get mad now. Like, and it's something stupid, like on IG. You know, we'll post what we're doing. I'm like, I told Ken, I'm looking to see how many of my friends repost what I do, and I'm gonna watch them and see if they repost celebrities, just to repost a celebrity. Because I'm like, what impact of you reposting celebrity does for you outside of you being a part of what everyone else is doing?
Yeah.
Why can't you take that one half a second to just repost someone you know and the business they're doing? Like, why is that hard to do?
Yeah.
What is that image issue that you have, right? Or is it not an image issue? I have no idea. So I started to study that now. So and you're right, it's a thing that happens. And I tell Ken to watch. He's like, Ryan, don't even look into it, because he had the same issue back in the day.
And I couldn't, and you were probably not looking into it, but I feel like from a cultural standpoint, that's the problem. I agree. That's why we're losing. I feel like that's the problem. Like, people might say this president, I hate this Trump, I hate this. I don't look at everything. I blame us. A lot of it is the work we got to put in.
Bro, we have, and this is where I think I said earlier, like, you might hate me, but it's like right now, forget years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. We have all the resources that our enemy has. Literally, we have, outside of the generational wealth and those, terms, right? Just put that aside. Like, talk about now. We have the same resources that everyone else has. So why can't we understand that and say, all right, let me find a group of 5 people, doesn't matter, man or woman, doesn't matter. Find 5 people that will help create whatever I want to create.
Yeah.
Right? How can we all add value to each other, and let's come together and just dominate, right? And then grow from there. I don't think we do that. I don't think we know how to do it, but no one also teaches us how to do it at a young age.
That's
so
really a big part.
when I have a family, my goal as the father is to show my boy or girl, doesn't matter what I have, is that this is how you're going to grow up, and this is how you're going to look at life, and this is what you're going to help create. And I'm going to teach them the values of money. I'm going to teach them how to find resources, teach them how to monetize specific things, how to create a brand, right? Because that's the future, right? And teach them everything they need to know that they're supposed to learn in college, right? Make sure by the time they're 18, they can buy a property, right? All the things that I wasn't given, all the tools, but I had to learn the hard way, right? I had to learn on my own.
But I think we forget that, because Judah brought this up, and I thought it was a great point. We forget that in this area specifically, there's a lot of first generation. So like millennials specifically are like the kind of the first generation to accomplish as much as we have. So you didn't have anybody who owned as much, who had as many assets, who had as many resources. The world was very different. So because you're like first generation with all of this access and all of these resources and contacts, you don't necessarily know how to facilitate that, like in the generation that comes immediately behind you, to be like what Gen X, Gen Z. So it changes things. When you're first generation doing something, you are learning in real time. The learning curve is very steep.
Yeah.
So I think like we have to give ourselves some grace when it comes to things because you're learning in real time.
I agree. I mean, let's double back on what we were saying. How much grace do we need?
There you go.
It got to be changed.
Yeah.
How much
I think
grace,
this is the generation
I
we're
think-
seeing where like things are happening of their own accord. And
Yeah.
maybe we don't like the direction of all of it, but I see it happen.
I see it, but the problem that I see, because I see every culture, I'm around everybody, and I see it. I was around Ken. I was lucky enough to see it. Who's your number one culture that supported your business? Transparency in that.
Support as in non-customer support, right? Just like
All
Are you
aspects.
talking revenue or talking, like what are we talking when you say
We're
support?
talking about revenue. We're talking about your number one consumer, like with contracts to the buildings that you go to get those consumers.
oh yeah.
Who are you getting the contracts to bring what culture is the one that you're sitting doing the deals with?
All right. So I will break down how we grow and expand in what we do. So how we became successful and the continuation of it is literally on the backs of us and the relationships we create. And we have relationships with all these, corporate entities, man, woman, black or white. It doesn't really matter the shade of their skin. It's the moral and ethic of that person. And it's also introducing ourselves as a value add to their portfolio, right? To what they have. So we have a solution, right? We created a system that takes away any pressures or extra added work for their staff. So it's kind of like we gave you a win-win-win all in one. Let us do all the work. And because it's a need within their portfolio, it just makes sense. Now, can they use someone else? Of course you can, right? We don't have any.
But y'all like.
There we go. Yeah. So it's back to us. Yeah. So we have some contracts out there because they asked for it.
Yeah.
But we're like, the moment you want to break up this marriage is what I say, then just call me.
Yeah.
We'll come bring it out. Or you call me out and I'll try to rebuttal. What can we do better? Right. But at the end of the day, they want to do people. And I think here in DC, it matters a lot. One, I'm from here. Ken is half here, half Richmond, right? So he's from the area. I think people here want to do people with people that are from here. That made sense.
Yeah.
And we know how to do business with people here. We know how to talk the talk, right? And we know what the standards are. And it just so happens that we're, very likable.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the perfect storm in a way.
In a sense, that I agree. Y'all have amazing business. I wanted to know how many of our culture
I noticed he breezed over that too.
Okay.
It was. I'm
gonna be
amazing bottle. This is bottle.
He kind of alluded to it.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. So if I also look at, I can't really look at our data and our numbers and say, our people came from this, or 20% of our revenue. I can't say that, right?
Okay.
But what I can say is that from seeing people go into our stores when I go around every now and then, or from the things we do, I don't really see people reach out and say, hey, how can I contribute? How can I help? Or, hey, I want you to be my dry cleaner or my cleaning service. Or I see little of that. And it doesn't affect us, right? Because we always, and it's the thing too, just to take away, black, white, and all that. It's like, we always say we can't convert someone to use our service. It's like you use it because you want to use it.
Yeah.
And, but there is things where it's like, we got to help our people out no matter what, because that's what I'm going to do. So an example, like, I'm always show support for my friends. My friend Primo, he's a rapper from here, and he's hot. Like, I always repost his stuff, right? Whether I care to like the song or not, which I love all your songs, Primo. But whether I like the song or not, I'm gonna support him because that's my brother, right? And it's businesses or people who I just met. Like, I'm gonna support you. If you show any type of love at all, I'm gonna show support. I just hope that you will return it and return it. But if you don't know love laws, I just know not to where to put my efforts.
Some of that comes down to like upbringing and cultural influence, and right. You came up in a community, right? Lloyd Irving was a community, right?
Yeah.
A very large community over time, but a community nonetheless. So you kind of grew up in that environment. You got to think of like the cultural influence of the kids who then became the adults that are kind of running things now. Like there is very much like a crab in the barrel mentality here, right? Like you shining dims my light, or however people see that. And it matters, like how you're raised, what you come up around, like what you grew up learning based on behaviors. It matters in terms of like how you're going to react to things as an adult.
Yeah. So I think for salute to that. So growing up in a non-traditional sense, like literally Lord Irvin martial arts being my home away from home. Becoming the leader that I was, yes, it's an individual sport. But I saw for me, the harder I work, the more I will receive. But I have to understand that my hard work wasn't alone. I'm not training by myself. I'm training with other people, and they're sacrificing in a way to make sure I get better. Right. It's very selfless. So, and I do the same for them. Right. Or did when I was there. Right. So, I think I just carry that on into business, into actually my life. Whether making revenue or not, I want to help out.
Exactly the point. Yeah. Right. You like there is, I think a very underrated blessing in like growing up in community and growing up with love and people who are willing to help you sometimes at their own expense, which teaches you to do the same. Right there. That's a very, very like fortunate upbringing, but a lot of people don't have that. There's a lot of people who are coming up with no help and they're raised on survival. And there is a difference in terms of people who are raised on love based versus survival, right? People who are raised on love will do anything for you, right? But people who are raised on survival will do anything to you. So it changes everything in terms of like how you manifest like your creative ventures or how you treat people as an adult.
I would like to know that. Did we start yet? I don't even know. If we did, I'm just might as well ask y'all. What is y'all? Much about your community, like you said, you grew up in that community, which I don't know. Like,
martial arts. Yeah, so Lord Irvin's mixed martial arts is right down the street.
Literally, you could walk there from here.
No, mixed. So Fort Washington's my grandparents. So my whole story is a lot. But the community she's talking about is martial arts school. So for me, I wake up as a kid. Let's say 8 years old. I wake up, go to school, at school, go to martial arts, and I'm there until like 9 o'clock at night because I'm training the entire time.
Kicks on my ass.
Yeah. Then I go home and I do it again.
He was very good.
Yeah. So I did that for years, and from Monday through Saturday, that was like my life. And then those became my friends. Like even to this day, like those are like my brothers and sisters. And I can be away for 5 years or 10 years doing my thing. There's always going to be that love because we cultivated that at a young age. No dad. Well, I gotta back up. So raised by my mom until she committed suicide in 2005. So from there, went to live with her parents and my grandparents. So they're in Fort Washington. So I always claim like that's like my home. And then so having Martial Arts Academy was very helpful for me, trying to navigate life when a traumatic thing just happened. And, maintain the status quo, be a good big brother, because I have a younger brother who's 5 years younger, helping take care of grandparents who are older, right? So being I was 11 at the time, so transitioning to, teenage years, it's a lot of stuff going on. But at the same time, I had to make sure I was raising the bar in martial arts. Like I couldn't let that predicament dictate that, oh, I'm just a loser now, because this happened to me, victim mentality. I didn't want that for myself. So that's the community I grew up in. I was always there. It was my safe haven.
I would have never guessed that. Okay, and I don't know much about your story as well. I mean, are you from this area as well?
From this area, born and raised here. I started Taekwondo when I was like 8 or 9. I had a black belt by 14, 15, and then just kind of like practiced non-competitively until I graduated from school. So I'm from here. I went to private school in this area, not public school, but I'm from Temple Hills, like actually from this community coincidentally. It just so happens to be that my studio is here. Or maybe not coincidentally. But I was born and raised in Temple Hills. I went to West Virginia for college. I came back home, went to GW and got a master's. I've always worked here. But I mean, I was kind of raised to like move around. We traveled every year. And so that's just become a part of my life. And so I got older and started seeing the world. So I'm like, I lost count a while ago, but 45, 50 countries in, something like that at this point in time. And so it trains you to see the world
What
openly,
trained you to do that?
like just moving around, traveling.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of countries.
yeah. But I mean, that's just how my mother was. Like I have an older brother and an older sister, and I think she started like family vacations when they were young. And then my brother and my sister are a lot older than me, 50 and 46, 47. And so they were happy little surprises, and I was a plan. And so by the time I got here, it was just like, no, this is what we do. Because I think when you're from this area, you see firsthand how easy it is to get lost in these quadrants. I know people from DC. I know people in my neighborhood that I live in, own a house in, who have never left DC.
Never left DC.
They don't cross the border.
Yeah,
And I remember my mom telling me when she was like 19 for very different reasons, but she was like, no, when we lived in DC, like we didn't cross into Maryland until we were like 18, 19. Now that was cultural because all the police in DC at that time were coming straight from West Virginia. My mother is 71. So very different in terms of like, there's a real danger crossing that line. Whereas DC was all black. Always has been.
Remember,
Exactly. It used to be 100%. And also like coming up in an environment where like where you're from here, you really get to see the roots of it all, right? So the path that Marion Barry laid to employ federal government workers, which were mostly black people in this city, and how that changes the trajectory of a life, right? You can send your kids to school or help them fund a business and like enhance their lives. So it changes the way you see the world because you're in these community pockets where you know like you're fortunate to have had opportunity, but you have a lot of friends who didn't have those same opportunities, and you see what that looks like at 30 and 35.
Yeah, mom and dad do.
I do. My parents have been married for 50 years.
Wow.
And you both did martial arts, so you both could fuck me up right now. I ain't did none of that.
This would be hard to believe, but outside of the show, it's like super non-confrontational. I just prefer not to get in the show.
Yeah, I avoid.
I'm in harm danger. I got 911.
The show is a little different.
Yeah, I avoid
character
confrontation.
than personality, but like, and honestly, that's the opposite of what martial arts teaches you. It teaches you
Discipline.
control and discipline.
But I think that
you know you can hurt somebody, so you don't.
Had that community type thing, like.
Yeah, so much of your like childhood. You get out of school, you go train, you go home, finish any homework you didn't while you were training, and then
I did my homework in school because I didn't want to do it after training.
You go to tournaments on weekends.
And would that happen with you? Even you travel, that's a lot. Still, at a young age, traveling a lot, that's still a lot. And you know, with you and your mother and father, that's still a lot. But because you was there able to kind of just, I got work. This is the schedule y'all told me. You have school, train, da da da. When did you ever have time to just sit back and, because there had to be a moment, especially an adult, where you just step back and like, shit, I really went through this. This is reality hit. You know, like where you travel so much that, you know, I didn't get to have a best friend as a child, or being, you know, my mother, like, that's my mother, like, I'm missing a part of me. My DNA is not here.
Yeah.
Like, there had to be a moment where it was just quiet. So you had this discipline, but at this moment, there comes quietness.
Yeah, and also like the age at which things happen. I had another guest on the show. His father passed away recently, though, like within the last 5 years, right? So he's an adult when this is taking place. So the way that you process these things or how they manifest in like your adult life, I'm super interested. Now, I'm not going to ask you that in the context of the show, but I am interested in it. Like, how do you feel like
as a young child?
Yeah, like when that happens to you that young, right? And so now you're being raised by grandparents. Technically, this is all that you know. Really, right? But like, how do you feel like that's impacting you now as a man? Like, what do you feel like, and not necessarily like the positive, like, what do you feel like you're missing as a result of that? If anything.
Yeah, no, I know I've always was chasing unconditional love, and in forms of relationships, which is not fair to my significant others at the times, right? It's not fair to certain friendships. It's not fair. That was like my issue. That was something that took me forever to even realize that was the issue. That was the problem.
Or that it was happening.
Yeah. So in the moment, I know that's what it was. But you know, looking back on it, like that's why I always hung out with my friends' houses, because you know their mom was there, their dad was there, right? So I had a sense of mom and dad through my friends, but it just wasn't the same. And I can't expect that, but I got some of that.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized that was a big issue of mine. So I kind of just found a way to understand that's what it was and just move on. Because that's what I did. My mom passed away. It was, I didn't cry. I was in a state of shock for shit. I don't know. That whole night, I didn't go sleep till like the morning.
You was 11?
I was 11. Yeah. And then, a couple days later went to school. So it was lots of process, from the why, the how, was it my fault? Was it not? It was little of that. I didn't blame myself at all really, but, the processing part took a long time. But, I think by that time I did create a very good family in mixed martial arts. At that point where the parents are like, can I adopt Ryan? I found that out later, which made me smile, but, I really turned that into positive. And when I look at my life, I kind of put it in like different series, like story series. And that really cultivated me to say, I need to make something of myself for her. Her legacy is going to live through this. And funny enough, like I wasn't winning a lot before then. I think my biggest tournament, I think I shared first place with my friend Dimitri. But that same year after my mom passed away, I got my first place solo, and I couldn't lose for like years. I couldn't lose. Men, against kids my age, different weight classes. Every tournament I went to, it's like 4 different divisions I'm fighting in just because I was good. And every match I always like prayed to her. Yeah. So that kind of just gave me the habit of I have to keep going on for her because it's always going to do well for me.
It's interesting.
I did a breakdown, and I think that's strong. I think that's very strong. The only reason because I've said a very similar story. Very similar. Because my mother got shot at 10. I'd be at 10 years old. Yeah. So she died, and the reason I asked you, I'll double back on it because it didn't hit me till years later. Until I was like 30, 35. I'm like, damn, like I didn't realize that I was missing a part of me. And I'm like, and because I kept going, I kept moving. I'm looking for business. I'm looking for new girlfriends.
You didn't have time
to make me not sit down until God sat me down. I'm like, shit. And now it's quiet. I don't got that girl to keep me distracted. I don't got that money to keep me distracted. I'm sitting in that thoughts. And the reason that's why I want to really understand, like when you had, was it older? Was there every moment where there was shit just got quiet? It was quiet. And now you got to absorb the pain that you could have probably didn't deal with as a child.
Yeah, a lot of parts of my life, there were quiet periods, right? I always try to take time to stay quiet for me because growing up, my life was just busy. So all I know is busy. Yeah. A busy Ryan's a good Ryan, right? It's positive. But there are moments where I just sit back and just reflect on her and not try to be sad about it. Just more like be happy of the life she lived. I had to really grow up fast at a young age. But I always knew that I need to take time for her. As much as life got busy. Actually, matter of fact, the times where I sit down, where like you said, God sat you down one day. I think God sits my ass down a lot when I'm like struggling. Right. And then he reminds me to always look at what I have rather than what I don't have. And I got that same from my instructor, by the way. That's what he reminded me when I was young. But he did that to me a lot of times throughout my life. So whenever I had a struggle, I was like, Ron, you've been here before. And in a worse way, right? So he sat me down a lot.
And I guess I gotta pose a question. You're traveling that much and moving so many times.
Not moving, just traveling.
Yeah.
You can see that there's 2 ways of looking at it. How does someone get settled because you're living a different life, you're moving around, even if traveling, friends, keeping friends, just keeping the mate, especially as a female. That gotta be hard. Y'all don't keep a girlfriend for more than 5 or 10 years.
I can't relate to that.
Friends, they don't last long.
I can't relate to that. I think this is why, in my personal opinion, I think upbringing is so important. So like my aunts and uncles, of which I have so many, a lot of them are not blood. My mother only has one sister, but I have like so many aunts and uncles who've been there for every accomplishment, every layer of my life. And I think I feel as connected to my friend group, a lot of whom I've known since I was like 7, because I grew up in an environment where like my mom's best friends were her friends since she was 8. So the people that I call aunts and uncles are literally like my mom's friends from like first grade. Like they went to JC Knoll with her. And so I think growing up in an environment where like connectivity to your friends, because you don't have as many like brothers or sisters, and like there is familial turmoil for lots of different reasons, mostly normal shit. It made me get to a place where like when I made my first friends, which was probably like 2nd and 3rd grade, we just always stayed that way. So I'm still friends with all my friends from childhood. And I think I value friendship deeply. My core circle of friends, their family. They know my whole family. I know theirs. I hang out at their house all the time. If something is going on, we know that we can count on one another. There isn't like a respect of person. There aren't levels to that friendship. Like there's a quality in it. And I think because I was raised on that with my parents, like my father went to high school with my aunt. That's how they've known each other for so long. So my mother has known my father since they were 14. All my aunts and uncles are friends from like when my mom was in elementary school. My brother and sister are like 50 and 46. And so they still have all their childhood friends. So it would almost be unusual if I wasn't able to maintain those kinds of relationships. But I think like coming up with a certain kind of stability in one way and lack of stability in others, it just made me feel like when you have like a stable home environment, it almost like inspires you to like want to see other stuff. And I think like I thought it was interesting when Ryan was saying like that like search for unconditional love in your relationships because like you don't have that at home. I think you can have that like deep innate desire even if you have had all of that, right? Because I think I still like love, like cherish love, want it more than anything because my parents have it, because my brother, it's weird like the way that this all works. Like my brother's wife, they went to school together like at Benjamin Startup, which is not that far. So they've known each other since they were 11. They're fucking 50.
Wow.
So like that's
all you know.
That's all I know.
That's all you know.
All I know is like value your friends. You cut off anybody that's not really for you because you understand how like people who self-sabotage will cause that in you, right? Spirits transfer, right? Like bad company corrupts good character. I was really raised on that. But I think because like I grew up in an environment where like, no, like your friends should be able to count on you and you should be able to count on them. That's it. So it gets to a place where like you're an adult and it's just like, I don't know, stability gets boring. And so because it's just unfortunate, but stability gets a little boring. And so I got older and it's like, well, I come from this environment of like family and stability and love, and we always traveled. And so now it's just like, I would like some peace and quiet. So I think because I grew up in such a huge immediate family, I am a person that just likes to travel by myself. So most of those 50 countries, I would say of the 50, probably 30 of them were alone. And I think it's because like I do value and love my family and friends, but also I'm a person who struggled in some of my relationships because solitude is important to me. And somebody who is not okay being alone is a red flag immediately. And I think like I fear you can get into this mode of like, oh, my parents have been married for 50 years and my brother's known his girlfriend since she was 11 and all my sister's girlfriends have been her friends since she was 13. Like you feel like this has to happen. And if it doesn't, then what's wrong with you? So I think like getting into a space of like learning to be okay, I've learned that it attracts everything else. So I think like I'm in a space where like my family thinks I'm weird that I'm not married yet. And like I've been engaged before also. So like my family finds it my family thinks it's very strange. Like when are you gonna and it's just like nah, like first of all I want perfection for me. Not in general, just for me. You can't see parents married 50 years and not know all the flaws that exist in a marriage. But I think like for me, it's like, now I want exactly what God has for me, not a little here, a little there. And I think I gave a lot of grace in relationships and stayed too long in some situations. I'm more of a long-term person anyway. So it makes me very hesitant to enter into relationships just because like, if I do that, it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
And I can't bring you around my parents who have been married for 50 years, or my brother who's known his girlfriend since he was 11, or these friends I've had since I was 7 and 8, if it's not something. So I would rather just like not move at a certain kind of pace. So I tend to move. I tend to move kind of. Dating is bad. The game is crazy. The pool got piss in it for sure. So like, but I think like for me, I like dating. I think it's fun. And I really enjoy it because like I feel like I'm always there for the right reason. I take my time. I think time weeds niggas out fast. Yeah. I think people who for sure. Cause like even if like there's niggas who are willing to wait, and then there's niggas who are willing to wait but never alone. So you get to learn the two and what exists between the two. And you meet so many guys who are like nice guys on the surface and really like there's something else in a DM. And so I think for me, like I'm just always willing to take my time. I think like a lot of my aunts and uncles have their successful 30-year marriages happen the second time too. And so I'm willing to take my time. And so I'm willing to take a trip by myself to concentrate, focus, and to be still. I'm willing to like wait this out to see if it's really something, to see if your character matches this face. And so it weeds people out. And sometimes that, you know, it is what it is as far as what the dating pool looks like. But for me, I think added stability made me venture out maybe a little more than I might have if I didn't have all of that. Like maybe I would have craved something a little more stable if I didn't already have it, and if I didn't always know I could come back home to it.
No, it was something about dude. So what kind of dude do you prefer? The dude that is alone, alone, or a dude that's alone, but you said single and alone, or single and not alone?
No, there's like men who are willing to wait, and then men who are willing to wait but never alone. Yeah.
So which one do you like?
I don't have a preference. I think like there are good men that exist in all shapes and sizes, right? Because when you talk about all of that stability, right? My brother was also a drug dealer who did 11 years for racketeering and trafficking, and he was supposed to do life. So stability is the result of really good lawyers. So like that's what I'm saying. Like there are things that happen. Like I think like when my friends who know my story, it's just like, nah, it's a lot of shit that happened in between those years. So it's not like you come from this great relationship with your parents and like all of these friends and life is perfect, right? This area is this area. And there's a lot of taint that happens in this area. So I think for me, it's just like, nah, like I take my time with everything. Like I took my time going back to school. I hated the concept. I didn't want to go back and get no master's, but it's like, okay, well, I think this makes sense monetarily. Like I take my time in my friendships. I'm not quick to call people friends, or I take my time in relationships. Like, no, you is not my man, and we need to see how this goes. So I don't like have a respect a person. I think good men exist in all different forms. I think there are men who can be inspired to change based on who they date. And I feel like I was good luck Chuck for a second. So, I mean, for me, like, even Chuck found somebody in the end. So I just don't trip. Like, I just feel like I'm looking not for anything in a man beyond character. Like, this is my primary focus. This is what I'm trying to get to. I don't want to meet this representative that you send me for the first 3 or 4 months. Like, let me take time. Let me really get to know you. I don't assume that the first conversation or interaction is all that he is. He's not his worst moment. People make mistakes. And I think when you see things evolve over the course of a lifetime, the way that I have, you learn to give folks grace. And also you learn you got your own shit. So like, I don't judge a man based on anything. I just
dudes really out there that just be alone and wait. Like,
you be surprised.
That ain't what I do.
I think the crazy part, like I tell my friends this all the time, right? Because I've dated guys who were friends of friends, right? And so you ask them, like, what's up with, such and such? Like, who is he? Like, how you know him? Like, how long you known him? Like, is he a good guy? Like, you vouching for him? And like men I've known since I was 12 vouch for these men. And then you get to know them and it's like, oh, he sucks. Because the way you get to know a man as a woman is completely different than the way like you're going to get to know him as a man. We're learning different things about him. We have different interactions. And there is no better way to get to know a nigga than if there's an opportunity for intimacy. It reveals a lot of things. So I think for me, it's just like, nah, like you let people be people and the chips are going to fall where they may. And dating is hard sometimes, but I think it's a lot harder if you like go into every situation with the intent of like this has to be something. I don't go into it like that. So I can go out with a guy a few times and feel like, oh, I like him, and you know, we'll see where it goes, but never have the conversation with myself about his potential for more. He might not have any, and I'm cool with that.
That's rough, fella.
Yeah. Well, the piss in the water in the pool is the men and women who shouldn't be dating that are in the dating pool.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's I think the
and
biggest
it's a lot
issue.
of dudes who wait alone, not because they're like these solemn men of fortitude. It's because women don't really like them long term.
Wow.
So it's easy to find a nigga who waiting by himself, because you would be surprised how many men are great in the boy circles and niggas like them and they hoop and they're cool and they can dress and they have all of these things on the surface, and then you get to know him and he like comes from a father who made him feel like he was nothing or who wasn't around at all. And so like his adaptation of manhood comes in things and what he's able to like give or what he's able to do for somebody else or the package that he presents. And those are just not things that I'm interested in.
Wait, you said there's some men out there that might be a loner, right? That's
Yeah.
what we were going on. The dude who's a loner. And you then give us content of things that he could be doing.
There are dudes who wait alone.
Psychological
They waiting alone by force.
by force. So basically, you say he don't got no bitches. He don't get no.
No bitch.
Like,
Or it's not always that.
He don't get no
It's
bitches.
not always that. It's not always that. It's more complex. And I'll tell you why.
You went deep.
It's a lot of niggas who like then hit 100 girls, 200 girls, no repeats though. A lot of men equate like their masculinity to like how they're able to interact with women, but they never interact with them again. You don't like build it. You don't build it. They might get fired.
Well, that's the men I'm talking about who shouldn't be dating.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
Right.
But that's a lot of the pool.
Oh, I don't
is
know,
men
man.
who
That's
like
me.
Yeah.
they love
Yeah.
pussy but don't like women. That's a lot of the pool.
You just
So like
shit.
that's real. Like
that's
it's
lust. It's all straight
Yeah.
lust.
They like the pussy, but not women.
not women. Like they're fine with sleeping with a woman, with like going on a date as long as it's gonna end in something that night. Spending time
Transaction.
as long as they get something out
But
of
you
it.
gotta like the woman.
But
like,
it's no.
Well, that's me. I
You would be
ain't about to do nothing if I don't
I
like
have
it.
to like him.
I gotta be
though.
attracted to a
you're
girl.
like, okay. You
I have to like him. And I mean,
so you don't know. So there's men that just so they don't matter size or nothing.
Nah,
just willing to kill.
I know niggas who like they hitting all baddies, but like
Ain't
no
nobody
repeats.
Nobody
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say a bad
Yeah.
nigga,
Ain't nobody-
but the girls that
You
I
see
see
how
him
the girls
with,
call
right?
girl
Because I don't
baddies
know
all
what
the
they
time.
hitting behind closed doors.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
the chicks I see him with, it's like, oh no, like yeah, damn, like I'm good today, like type shit.
Hold on, is something
But
wrong with
no
him
repeats,
or is something
though.
wrong with them? The girls, it can't be one sided.
I think
If he hitting all mostly baddies, is something wrong with them too? Because they letting him.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is that a lot of women who've kind of like led their lives based on like how attractive they are, right? Because life is a little easier when you're attractive. Those
Oh
are
yeah,
just
pretty girl
realities.
privilege is real.
So like I think there are a lot of women, I've known a lot of women in this life, like she's gorgeous but she don't really like herself, or she's pretty but like her value is strictly from that, so she's spending a fortune trying to make sure she keeps looking like that now she's like nearing 30 or over 30.
So if she get hit, that means she don't like herself. Because she
No, that's not why. It's because you know people's character. You're taking one piece of it and like making it the
and so he with the baddies, he probably just likes different ice creams or different.
how long does that
Look at Baskin Robbins.
Yeah,
You want
like,
31 flavors.
I am concerned, and I think like the better you know a person, like the more like you're able to like judge any of this anyway, right? So these are only like my experiences and like in knowing these guys since like 10. But I think for me it's like when have you ever had a stable situation? Like ever? Like you've been hitting baddies, you're 36. Like you don't want anything more? Like you've never seen a bitch twice. Or have only seen a bitch twice. You okay with that? Like, and I think because I come from a more stable environment, I do find that to be strange because I don't want people around me for like anything momentary. And it happens like that. That's dating. But I'm always leery of men who don't have any like long-term friendships anywhere.
Yeah, that's
And also I'm very leery of men who don't have a single female friend. I think that you miss something. And I think like there are things that you need to learn as a man that can't just come from your mother. They have to come through learned experience. And I think the experience gets tainted a bit when you was only talking to that girl because you were trying to fuck her. So I think like I'm always leery of that. Like I have never been in a relationship. I think the one relationship, that's not true, never. But the one relationship that I was in, which was long, with a guy who didn't have any female friends, there were so many problems as a result. Because he didn't really know how to relate to women on a level other than physical. And I had to teach him that. And I didn't really have time to keep because he's never really like, unless there was like dating or some kind of like exchange.
There was no friendship.
Every relationship he's had with a woman was transactional. Everyone. That's a problem when you get to be 30 something. You've never had an experience with a woman that didn't involve you getting something out of it. Like you've never been able to just have a conversation with a woman and appreciate her perspective without knowing if you was gonna fuck at the end of the night or at the end of the week or whatever it was. That to me is crazy.
I see where you coming from. I'm here. I see it. I mean, I feel like men and women, the dating pool sucks.
Yeah, my perspective is gonna be different because I ain't dating bitches.
Yeah, you don't want to date them.
No, I'm pass. I'm not putting my mouth anywhere near that, knowing what goes on down there. Dead.
They doing all types of shit out there. They sleeping with all types of dudes. You don't want that. Everybody wilding.
No, that's crazy.
The time you find one. I think that everybody needs to start dating. Like, stop going with quote unquote values. You're gonna have to pull up your guys.
Yeah, you want receipts.
No one's batting 100. I don't believe it.
Not 100, because I don't know when he hitting when I'm not there. But the girls that like we out and he's like, hey y'all, like this is such and such. Like the presentations, like nah, his presentation is like.
Well, he found what part of his game that worked for him, and they are part of the same type of woman.
It helps to be handsome and tall, and you know.
So the woman who falls for the social media facade of like what kind of man you want.
Yeah,
they fall for that.
Okay,
certain kind of income.
Oh, that's fair facts.
No, I mean even the athletes I know, like they hit some weak joints here and there, but and I'm gonna be honest with you.
And they the ones who mess up the game. Cause now these joints who shouldn't be on this pedestal are now on this pedestal because simp dudes like that.
They bring a mid-size and made her feel like a mid-double.
That's true. That's right. But like, why she not allowed to feel like she popping just because
you're not. There is not this. Oh, everyone's beautiful. Like no, there's levels.
That's unfair.
And you know what?
Life ain't fair.
It's athletes and some of y'all women do. Because y'all say everybody girl,
that girl. Oh yeah.
You good with your hair. Y'all don't really just say what it is.
Be lying for no reason. You gotta say that.
I think men are just more like aesthetically focused than women are.
Yes, yes, that's true. We like what we see.
A girl will date an ugly nigga who treat her right and got some money and like can fuck good.
And got some money. That's the key.
That's the key.
Well, money.
I've dated plenty of medium ugly niggas. I'm usually the breadwinner in my situation, so that never.
But look at what you said. But there's an inherent difference on what we find valuable.
That's true.
Right. So, and you hear a lot of these podcast bros, which y'all kind of say, it's like, all you look for is attractive girls. Yes, because men innately we look for beauty.
That's true.
On whatever beauty means to me.
But like.
And girls don't look for that.
For beauty, though, there's a sliding scale, and I think it's a lot. I think that there are women who are like a 7 is attractive. Yeah, it's just not a 10.
It's not a 10. The 7 is
well, it depends on what the man wants, right? Yeah, so if I'm a man just trying to, if I'm a man just trying to date, I'm gonna look for whoever I find attractive, right? If I'm a man who wants to build something with someone,
what's the difference between dating and wanting to build in your mind?
I mean, just want to like a serial dater. Like I just want to date a woman because I like to go out and I want someone to find with me. Because in the man's world, a fine woman means status for the man. So he gonna look at me different. Like, that's his joint. Oh, he must be doing something right. So it's gonna look at me different, right?
Yeah, women look at him different.
No, that's crazy.
And then I pull more women.
Marry that, and looks change. You think you can look the same?
Well, I'm saying, but that's a serial dater, right? So someone who wants to find someone, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're gonna find someone they find attractive first, and then from there find out their character, who they are, what the upbringing is, and all these things. But it depends on what the guy's looking for.
Yeah.
But looks are always number one. That's the first thing. It's physical.
With men, yeah.
Yeah, and it's what it is. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's not the main thing. I just hit the cusp for it's not the main thing.
Congratulations.
But it's 1B.
My whole life, that was the main.
But it's like 1B.
For becoming an adult.
Yeah.
The big leagues, it's not the main thing anymore.
So what's the main thing now for you?
Now it's, as I got older, now it's like, man, how you treat me, how you make me feel like I before. Trust me, listen.
She's looking for a laborer.
Yeah.
So if Lizzo treats you good, you gonna wife her?
You got a way better chance of that
Yeah.
and being ugly. I'll settle for it.
Settle.
I mean, I'll go for
See,
it.
why is that a trigger word for women? I don't like that.
No woman wants to be settled for.
No, it's not
your
settled.
biggest fear.
Right,
So you don't
Your
say settle
biggest fear
down?
is that you were like second or
No,
third.
I don't. What I
Oh, I
mean
gotta talk about that.
so I fucked up. I didn't want to be settled. That's
No. I'm
No,
cool
that's
the
what
word
you
because
said.
when you say build a family, you say
Perfect.
settle
'Cause
down, right?
That's what
So
you
here's the
said.
issue. I don't like when it's a trigger for most women because we're growing up thinking we're hearing the word settle down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with that. There's
Never
no
liked
negative
that
connotation to that, right?
Sure, you just,
There's always negative connotation towards settling.
you're right.
I want to settle down with the woman I
Right.
find to be my wife and
Thank
woman,
you.
know,
Thank you.
one of my
Thank you for
kids.
correcting me. He's right.
So that's what that's what men mean. That's what men mean.
He's right.
Now, I got 10 joints. Oh, let me settle for her. No, that's not what it
That's
is.
not what it is.
I'm choosing her out of 10. That's a
Yes.
big difference.
I'm only going based
So,
on his
I
verbiage.
would like to
feel like
settle
I'm,
down with.
like I'm being
So we're gonna
attacked.
break it down.
Thank you for
I feel like you're jumping on me and he's
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
All I said was
But what
say
you
a word.
but what you say, you're not wrong. But what you say is a lot of women say that, and I always say that as my response. Like we don't mean it that in a negative connotation. It's like I want to settle down with the right person.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to say I chose you out of a group of 10
Yes.
because that's what women are doing.
That's what women don't want to say. We can be choosing too. They don't think it's one sided. I chose to be with you.
Exactly.
I can be outside if I want to be.
Facts.
I'm choosing to be in the bed with you.
No, I think that's the difference. Like I think maybe that's like, and I think again, upbringing, right? So like in my house, like that's not what my parents ever said, and it had a bit of a negative connotation. My parents never settled down; they chose and committed. So I think like words are very. I used to write music, so words are very powerful to me. So I think I am a bit more focused than maybe the average person.
I get it, but I didn't mean it in that. I mean, it's not all about the exterior.
Mhm.
The interior matters now to me.
It should.
I care because I've been around.
Because her face, ass, and tits are not raising your children.
No, and I've been up, I've been down, and in life I've been super up. I had everything. Like I told you through the phone, I used to work at strip club for years, manager for strip club for 10 years. So I was having all types of fun, doing everything. But one thing, and I want to lead into what y'all was talking about, unconditional love. I had everything that you think, cars, women, and I wasn't just promoter. I was managing all girls across New York, and then I realized like I felt everybody like I love you, but I didn't feel love. You ever been in a room? Everybody know you, but you felt like I'm not really like you. Nobody really know you. That's what I felt like.
Connectivity.
I was like, damn, everybody's saying it, but I don't feel it. Like, I don't fucking love me. Like, I mean, there's times I'm out of deal with someone, some chick, two chicks, whatever, and I turn over, I'm like, this bitch gotta go, man. I gotta get out.
That's crazy. You have no idea how many men I've heard say
right
that.
now.
I'll never forget a New York nigga.
Yo,
I ain't gonna say anything. But you know
There
who
she
you
goes.
are. I ain't gonna say anything. Honestly, like I dated a guy in New York for a long time. I did long distance for a long time, and so
don't do us. Come on, brother.
nah, it just was.
This is good.
I ain't gonna lie, like I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like I was sure I was gonna marry a New York nigga. Like I was sure about it. Like they different. I would say that New York dudes are different, and like I feel like if ever there was a point in time where I felt like no, I think I want to move. I think I would like to live elsewhere. It would probably be New York because I just feel like best crop of men in the world to me. But I mean, I've dated here obviously, so I have love for the men in this area. I know y'all niggas, but he was probably one of my favorites, if I'm being real. But
you started the war between these New York.
A guy I met out there during that period of time. I remember him saying like he was in a space where like it felt like he kind of hated women, right? Love pussy, don't like women. So he was like 2 kids in. He wasn't looking for anything serious. He realized was just like fucking leaving. I remember having a conversation with this guy, and he said, "Damn, like." Sometimes I just wish like after we done, she would just go, like not talk to me. Nothing. He said that out loud to me.
I see that in my head.
So like I thought it was so interesting because the first thing I thought wasn't like, oh, he's shit. It was like, I wonder how many men think like that.
Yeah, I think like
that was my first thought.
Brooklyn?
Yes.
I know it.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't saying your name, but I know you watch. But like, I remember that conversation so very vividly, and I remember my first thought being, "Damn, I wonder how many men think like that. Who would like to just hit you and leave? Y'all don't have to talk. There's no conversation. Like you go about your business, he go about yours, and maybe." Y'all run into each other again or not.
You from DMV. Do you feel like calling the Uber when there's someone to go?
If we gotta be real, we gotta be 100. I mean, I've done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's not weak. Here's the thing. Here's my rationale. It's like I think we both knew in turn this is what we wanted. So
you sure? No. Let's pause that for a second. This is what a lot of men do. I'd really like to go there.
So I gotta be honest.
You think you both knew? Did you have a fucking conversation about that? When? At what point? Was there the verbal indication that was the situation?
Go ahead and get him. Who fired you on?
We both knew it's not the same as. No. Because I think we both knew it's not the same as we knew.
Yeah.
I can rephrase that.
No. Don't rephrase. Spell out the situation. Why would you think that she would automatically know that?
Well, that's what it is, right? So if we did, I can't remember the exact what we did, but let's say we hung out, went on a date, blah, 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 come back, have fun, do what we did. I'm not going to say drive home and stay here.
So you think that because how early did you hit? Like, are we talking like a first date you hit? Are we talking about y'all had been kind of texting for a couple of days?
This is a while ago. So I don't even know. But I don't think it matters how long. It's like, so if we did, if we hooked up, we hooked up, right? There's been women I hooked up with the first time. There's been some where it took months. It just depends on, how much they feeling me.
Not facts, but like what I'm asking is, why did you think she knew that?
To go home.
Why wouldn't she want to go home?
That's crazy.
You are
breathing right over the fucking subject. I'm keeping real heavy. I'm keeping. This guy's trash, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you do, don't fuck Ryan. I'm kidding.
I get where you come from. I'm not.
But look, all right. Here we go.
I'm just trying to get my question.
So, all right, here we go. Okay, there's never a time where, all right, hey, wake up, your Uber's here. It's not that. She's up. We're up. All right, made coffee, probably made breakfast. I love making breakfast. I'm a good guy, actually. So I'm like, hey, I got stuff to do today. Uber's on the way.
I can't relate. I'm getting breakfast.
Oh, I'm gonna cook breakfast.
I can't relate.
That's nice.
Like
Because I can let her say it's time to go.
It's what happened.
I'm still a nice guy. So you'll get a good fluffy omelet with some avocados, some berries, some coffee, and then guess what? You're nice, you feel warm, and during that we're talking like, hey, what do you got going on today?
Oh, yeah. What you about to do?
Now it's time to go.
He hit her with the what you about to do. Right? Okay, gotcha.
And then there you go. So there's no harm, no foul. Like
it's not.
Because now here's the thing. No, it
I see why.
Because here's the thing. So now, why should I? Now, if we didn't have a conversation beforehand about what we're doing the next day, then it should be safe to assume the next day isn't about us two being together, right?
That's fair.
So she should go about her day. I should go about my day.
I was more so, it's 10, 11 o'clock. You did what you did.
Oh, you mean late? Like, oh, that type late. Oh, okay.
You're like, you know what? I don't want her to be right. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
1 in the morning.
That was that, guys.
I'm not talking about morning.
That was
his sleep through the night. I'm talking about 11 o'clock. I did what I did. It's 1 o'clock. I'm the road. Like, I don't want to wake up to you. That's what I'm talking about.
And
only certain ones will wake up next to me. Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
The joints I'm actually feeling will wake up next to me.
What you not feeling?
Oh, then I gotta go. I gotta go. So I mean, we went to her spot.
Okay.
So I gotta go.
Sure, she come go to your crib.
She ain't nah. Nah.
No, I mean that's a rule for every woman. So like
she's more safe for her spot.
Yeah, that's
so if I know it's about we feeling the vibe from the moment, then we go to your spot.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know. I think like I always have trouble grasping the concept of this because I think like a one night stand or something quick.
It could blossom to something beautiful.
I mean, believe me, like I have friends who like have had relationships over one night stand. So I think like anything is possible, which is why I think things boil down to character for me.
Yeah. But as I got older, my time is very valuable. So like
There we go.
that is a younger thing, right? So I'm 33 now. So it's like, honestly, I don't like the idea of just going out just to go out, to go find a girl, holler. It's
I
like,
was outside.
oh, I know you were.
Dude, what?
No, man. If honestly, if it ain't about business, I'm not going, to be honest.
That
You know, I
part.
can drink with my business partner. I can drink with my close friends, and we can do that at my place, their place, or go to a spot where I know the owner. We hanging out.
That part. That's
But like the go out to spend, to wild out, to try and impress a girl, I've done that. It doesn't serve me.
You're mature.
Yeah,
you still doing it?
I hit the cusp like last year.
You hit the
last
cusp.
year, I hit the cusp.
that cuss.
Just out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer this because every woman hates this question. How old are you?
I'm 42.
And you just hit the cusp?
I
Oh
just hit the
God.
cusp.
And this is
Yeah,
every
like
woman's
last
fear.
year, I hit the cusp.
This is
No,
every woman's
Well,
fear.
here's the thing. It's like, all right, so were you always honest with the joints you was like messing around with? Like
Yeah.
you told them what was up?
Were you always honest?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
No, but as in, like,
She
I ain't,
telling the
like,
truth about that.
hey, I'm dating right now versus
No,
like I'm at the
I
white.
lied all the time.
Oh yeah.
I stopped lying like around 35. That's when I stopped lying. I was like, stop lying.
Oh my God.
37.
Having to
I
wait till
started,
35 for a nigga to tell you the truth is crazy ass work.
So 33, I was still lying.
That's crazy.
35, I was like 35 was because I had my son. I was like, all right, I gotta change my ways.
This
My
is-
son
and
changed
this is
my
why
ways.
you
I
wait.
ain't gonna do all that.
This is why I wait.
Then, you know, then I met other ladies and then they matured me a little bit more.
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, I can't do that. But I didn't know I couldn't do that. I mean, I was like a rock wilder outside. Just
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
I
you was
didn't
a
know how to
savage
handle
nigga.
a relationship.
Mm.
I didn't know how to handle all this. I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to hold hands? I hold hands. I was like,
What it may say, if I hold your hand, that's showing love.
yeah. When he said that, I didn't
Yeah.
even know how to hold hands. Kissing somebody, I felt weird.
Word.
I felt weird.
It's my
because,
favorite
on the
part.
list, I felt weird
Yeah.
until I got in my 30s.
It's the
And
best part. The
No.
kissing is really what
There's some
establishes.
women who
I
can't
think
kiss
what-
though, so I'm good at it. So there's some women that
Yeah,
can't
I'm
do it.
fantastic, so I can't relate to that. And that's always like for me
Because that
the
was considered intimate. That was considered love and affection. Fucking was fucking. Intimacy was different.
yeah.
So it was different.
That I
I
can
mean,
see.
tells no
So
lie.
That I can see.
So like I said, growing up, I made a lot of mistakes. I always said like I'm not that person today. So I don't care about talking about past because I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned. I'm like, damn.
Where do you feel like that transition came into? Because I'm gonna be honest with you,
Yeah.
right? As somebody who is like conducting a program in New York school systems, to hear you talk like this is
I'm
crazy.
always-
So like, where did that transition start? Like, what was the thing? Was it the birth of your son? Because I mean, that's a very like
That's
pivotal
good.
moment in a man's life. But it's a lot of niggas who have kids and they continue to be dogs. So
Mhm.
like, what was the thing?
It was when my child's mother had a daughter, private, and I used to see the love that she would give her all the time. I was so like, damn, like I don't know how that feels.
Mhm.
I ain't never felt that before. And I was around strip clubs around this time. I'm like, I'm in all these, but I ain't never felt that.
Mm.
Eventually we had a child and I was like, damn, like I got the luxury of having love at first sight with my son. And I got love with my stepdaughter. My stepdaughter, I fell in love with. I was like, damn, like that, like I grew up with her. She taught me how to love. I didn't know how to love properly. My stepdaughter taught me how to love.
So it was
I felt
the
like
kid that taught you how to love.
Yeah, the shit was her. Because I was like, I felt like I had to protect her. I'm like, nah, I didn't want her to come across motherfuckers like me. I'm like,
Mhm.
So that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Like, was that like a factor in things that
Yeah.
you don't want to continue to be the guy who could end up
Yeah,
like
'cause I
being the
used to
kind of
come
guy this
home-
young lady's gonna meet one
come
day?
home for, I get out with strips up 4 in the morning. I'm driving to see them 5, 6 in the morning. And I was like, yo, that ain't right. I can't do that. Like, I can't do that. I need to make a change. But, in life, what happens is I was making so much money. I had BMW, had all this nice shit, all these women. And then I got a 9 to 5. I'm like, shit, that shit was like night. I'm like, this shit ain't no money in this money.
Different when you got a budget.
Yeah.
Different when you got a budget. Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I'm trying to be this, I'm like, everybody say, you a shipped up guy. You ain't never gonna be a father figure. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do this.
Did you leave the clubs because of the kids?
I left the club because of the kids. I
Wow.
was like, yo, I need to, because I wanted to prove everybody that I can be a stand-up guy. Because
Mhm.
everybody thought I'm a strip club guy. They're like, nah, you can't. do that.
Scumbag.
I'm like, yeah, I thought I was a don't say I ain't shit. I was like, fuck that. Come on, show me. Because I wanted that love. I really wanted that love that I seen. I was like, that shit felt I need to have that. I want somebody to love me just for me being me.
Yeah.
Accept my flaws, accept my goodness, accept everything about me.
Yeah,
And
which
I
is
saw that.
the whole point.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I saw my son. I'm like, oh, this nigga, he didn't even have to work for my love. This nigga got it instantly.
Instant.
Yeah.
That's when I knew God was real. I was like, how the fuck do I love this motherfucker? I don't even know him. And I love this man right here.
And
Natural.
he's in love with you and doesn't know you
I
either.
don't even get it.
Mhm.
I knew it was something bigger than
Nah,
that. So I
facts.
was like, damn, like, but I always did fashion shows. I love production. I love just creating. So
Mhm.
that was always there.
What was the thing that got it into the school system though? Like, how did that happen?
That's where, because so I'm still at the strip club, and at the same time, I'm doing fashion shows because I love creating. I'm doing photography, film. I'm still doing those things. I
Mhm.
like doing it. But when it happened was, like I said, to fall in love with my kids and all that stuff. Now, eventually, I was like, this work shit ain't for me. This shit's corny. I was like, yo, but I love my kids. My stepdaughter went in my fashion show, and then we did she helped, and she used to cry during the walk and all this. And I'm like, yo, you don't gotta walk, fuck you don't gotta practice. Fuck what they saying over there. I'm being a dad now. So, that helped change, but I realized after that, I'm gonna go real quick with it. These kids, I started paying attention more than model. I started looking at fashion. These kids will come back. We do a big cast call at Pearl Studios every year. We do a big cast call in Brooklyn. I know everybody don't know Pearl Studios. Big studio in Manhattan, and like 200 kids would come out, and we would pick like 80 of them. And they'd be so scared during that whole process, the whole time. And I get it, rightfully so. There's only 4 of us judging, so you get picked and everything like that. And then they would get picked, and they would practice with every week, Saturday and Sunday, from 4 to 6 every week. To our annual fashion show. 3 months, we would do a big fashion show. 400 people come out. I did it in every borough. Huge fashion show. And these kids will rock the house during the show. They will kill it. I'm like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers is killing it. But I've been with them for 3 months. I developed a family with them. I knew their parents. I knew everything. And I saw something more than just a fact. Like, it was more than fashion. I was helping kids become better.
Yeah.
And one thing that we shared earlier before we talking is like, I wanted someone that, like, I wanted to be there for somebody. I was like, man, I wanted to be that, like, like the kid that never was saw it, I wanted to see that kid. So now, create a curriculum to build self-esteem, fashion, art, and build self-confidence. And I don't ever teach what I tell them the answer. They tell me the answer. You express who you are to me. It's not about clothes. It's about building inside of you. I started learning the inside that really makes the outside.
So is that the motto in House of Noir?
That's all about. That's what it's about. That's how I looked at everything with exterior. I lived in an exterior world until I realized, God said, you got to build the inside for the outside to come out. Anybody can be beautiful. Anybody can make someone feel great. It can be great.
Yeah.
You
No,
just
facts.
look at them like shit. They're going to feel like shit.
Honestly, I think that's how marriages happen.
That's how it is. And that's what y'all women got.
Yeah.
I think the ability to break and make a man.
I think like when you really like a guy, like you are more cognizant of that power and you wield it differently. Like when you don't like a nigga, like you don't care about breaking him in half. Like you don't care about breaking his soul. You don't care about breaking his self-esteem. None of these things are relevant to you. But when you care about him, like it becomes your job to speak life into him. It is a part of the position. And if you can't do it, you need to let him go.
That's the thing. Y'all have the power to make a king or a joker.
Yeah.
There's been low times in my life, and some people made me feel lower.
Mm-hmm.
And if they would have just saw me for 2 seconds, all the things I'm doing, how hard I'm working, I probably would have get a lot more. But they didn't see me. And that's why I pride myself in the space that I'm in, and just try to show people that, man, I see you. Whatever it is, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. I don't care what you into, but I see you. That's all. That's me. That's important right now.
I respect that. I respect that. So conversely, Ryan, right? So you go from BJJ athlete to entrepreneur. When does this transition happen for you and why?
I think high school. So high school, 15, I got like a real bad injury. So I was out for months, tore my abdominal, like the lower abdominal muscle. Out for months.
To heal too.
Yeah, and my dumb ass didn't heal it. I was just, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit and keep trying to train. But anyway, so it got healed up good enough so I can still compete, and then end up messing up my ankle real bad, and then tore my meniscus in my knee. So there's a lot of injuries in high school that happen. And during this phase, since I'm not at the gym training, I'm like hanging out with my neighborhood friends. Like, oh, let me build my friendships outside the gym now, right? So I was like, I guess I was trying to say, I just want to be a kid again, or be a kid for the first time, really, because I was always at the gym. So then ended up going to college because Miss Rose, rest in peace to Miss Rose, she said, Ryan, you're going to college no matter what. I said, yes, ma'am. So I ended up going. And during college is when I try to find like what I'm good at, skills wise, right? And I just always had a great presence about me. I'll walk into a room, I get the attention, I can kind of be a chameleon in a way and join different conversations. So anyway, I feel like that was a gift. It's very God-given. So I think I should go in some type of like marketing, sales type of role. So I went to school for marketing anyway. So from there, I just knew I can just sell something, anything. And that's really what just selling myself. So from there, I, went into business right after I graduated, become a top sales leader. And then from there, my grandmother passed away. So I had a shift. So at a small point in time in my life, I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I came back up here, what I want to do. And ex at the time said, her mom said I should teach. So I taught martial arts for years, as you know. I was really good at that. So I said, let me get into that. I can make an impact. So I saw it's kind of similar, like trying to like help kids. So I got into the schools and I just felt like I was back at home. Like I was back in martial arts, except for it's not teaching them how to do a round kick. It's how to freaking write a paper, right? And I fell in love with it. So for a couple of years, I was teaching and taught math. I created a financial literacy program for a school system, worked with a CPA to get that done. I've gotten financial literacy books for the kids that were in my program so they can read up on it, taught them about stocks, a lot of different financial literacy things that I didn't have that I learned as I became older. And then from there, I knew I wanted to make a bigger impact. So I was like, I can't be in this regular job or just, don't constrain me to what I can do. So then I left there. I knew I wanted to get into some type of business. And then, I met Ken, who's the founder of Dry. And for a long time, he was just kind of like watching me see what I do. So I was dipping and dabbling in a lot of different things. And then he hit me up. He's like, yo, let's get lunch. Or lunch. No, let's grab a drink, is what he said. And then he like approached me and said, yeah, I want you to join and, be the next me, be our partner in this and let's grow. And to be honest, it was just because of his vibe. I was like, it's time to do it. Right. So to answer your question, I think it was entrepreneurship really is a calling for me and who I am because nothing stops me but me. And I really hate points in my life where I had a ceiling when I feel like I can go past it. And then my Lloyd Irvin, he's an entrepreneur by trade. It's just who he is. And my very first job was being like his assistant. So I was in mastermind meetings with him, meeting other millionaires and seeing what they do. And I just gained a lot of knowledge at a young age. And I feel like that was like the beginning stages of my entrepreneurship, if I were, to look at everything through a timeline. So, I don't want to hold myself to a ceiling, or I know I can do a lot more. And through entrepreneurship and ownership, I can get to where I want to get to in life personally.
Okay, fair enough. So you two have like completely different paths, right? So somewhat, but
like
yeah,
a
little similar.
Well,
We're not just light skinned. We got a little something.
Perhaps they started similarly or are similar now, but there's clearly some divergence. Right? I don't think Ryan. Have you worked in a strip club, Ryan? No, he had. All right,
no answer.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, a couple of joints. So some of that we got similar.
You was dating strippers?
No.
Let Ryan answer.
So now here's the thing. So what you said is, well, a lot of women see they look at me, they just assume a certain thing about me, and then they don't want to continue conversation because they think they're gonna get played. I'm like, damn, I'm actually just a good looking dude who's a nice guy, to be honest. So
You're a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
We're gonna promote this. Make sure this is an
Yeah, thank you. Because I think like a couple minutes ago you told them to not fuck with me.
Yeah, fuck with him. This is a good guy.
See, you hear that? And that's coming from a New York nigga.
33 hours not here.
See?
Thank God.
I don't want to. I want to be careful because I don't want to deter future guests from coming on here. But all right,
this is all fun. We're not being serious. We're serious about me being a nice guy, but we're joking around.
okay.
Come on
All
the show.
That works. That works. So like because you did kind of start off like on the scene, right? I love strip clubs, I have to say. Always have. Still do. I think they're fantastic. Nicest women in the world, honestly. Like they want something. So like there's like it's perfect. Like I think like I've never met a stripper that I didn't like immediately fall in love with. But like I'm curious about like kind of like the routines, habits, level of discipline, because I think entrepreneurship translates in a lot of different areas, right? I think that's clear here. Yeah, so like what were kind of the routines, habits, structure that you built in those clubs that plays into now?
What I learned in that space is just like how to deal with people. I mean, like, people used to come to strip club all the time, like, oh, you got the best job in the world. I'm like, nah, I really don't got the best job. I actually do not have the best job. And everybody said that because they saw all these women, right?
Of course. That's
like,
how men associate success. A lot of women.
Cardi B was there. That first strip club she ever worked was my club. Chinese Kitty. There's a lot of different strip clubs that worked there. And the thing is, when I was there, I realized, I'm like, damn, it sounds cool to have 10 girlfriends, so you got 10 girlfriends. That's like, it's fucking annoying.
That's true.
It was 10 annoying people. Yo, can I get this? I learned patience, and I'm sure you got a lot of patience. Learning how to deal with multiple attitudes, because when you're dealing with different women, whether you sleep with them or not, women, you don't got to actually penetrate for them to feel like there is some type of control.
Facts.
Like, so I learned how to just deal with different emotions, like different feelings, different people, everybody's different. You gotta adapt to that. Even when
very underrated skill.
Everybody. So when I deal with kids and talking about building my foundation, I meet you where you at. I'm not trying. There's no mass teaching. I teach different. Everybody's listening to different curve. Everybody. That's entrepreneurship. I know you gotta adjust the tonality of how they're gonna perceive it. Some people you might have to flirt with. Some people you gotta be standoffish with. Some people you gotta handshake a little stronger. You constantly a chameleon to be an entrepreneur. You got to. So strip club taught me how to do that for sure, and showed me how to keep my defense up all the time.
Yeah,
I think that's super interesting, because I think especially like there is an unfortunate, perhaps innate comparison between like dealing with children and dealing with women. So being able to like be adaptable in those environments and like focus on who the individual is and like handle the situation based on the individual, and then expand and then multiply that principle like beyond this individual into a group, into a team to help develop an idea. I think that's like fascinating.
It's really God. I realized I can use you in life. Keep that up to you, for you got power. I can use it for negative or positive. I can corrupt the world if I want. I can be the devil, or I can walk in God's light. I was walking in the devil light. I'm walking in with God like that. I decided to be in a positive space. I want to be able to bring positive to the world. I can be that person, and there's both in there. Y'all got power. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. Y'all can be the biggest kingpin tomorrow if you want. You could, because it's in you. You got the power. People want to follow you. You put this whole thing together. That means you can put anything together. So it shows me that we decide what path we want to get. I decided to choose a different path. So I'm walking with God. I'm gonna walk Christ like in this version of my life right now.
I respect that.
That's what's up.
And we're going to give the last question to Ryan, right? Because I think that was beautiful. But I think also giving your story, Ryan, there's like an extreme air of vulnerability, right? In losing your mom so young, and then having to kind of create these relationships with these people and trust that they have your best interests at heart, right? That's difficult for a child, because not everybody does. And children are the most vulnerable. And some people clearly take advantage of that naivete and of that inexperience and of that like vulnerability, right? So being that like you kind of started life in a very vulnerable place, how do you feel like, if at all, yet that level of vulnerability, what you learned from it, plays a role in like who you are right now?
That's a loaded question.
It is.
So when that happened to me, I feel like my issue was that I put on a mask, right? So people did not know when I was hurting or if I was hurting. I think that was my defense mechanism in a way, to continue to do what I feel like was best for me. And during that time, I don't know if this answers your question, but it's the first thing that came to mind. people just, I didn't receive what I needed as a child. So I built a very hard shell, hardcore, because I felt that was best for me. Let me not show them I'm hurting, because I can't. And at that time, I'm like the leader of the kids program, and adults looked up to me, and everyone looked up to me. So I'm like, I can't show them that I'm hurting. So I have to put on a mask, right? Put on a different outside version of really who I am, not really being my true inner self, like including what you were saying earlier. So I did that a lot. But trying to find love in different places from different parents. Honestly, I think I can say that it was very genuine. And even though I wasn't receiving the love that I want, it's not the same. Like, your mother's love is your mother's love. I think we all know that. But I think it was enough to fuel me and let me know that I got people there when I need them. For me, my biggest struggle, even now as an adult, is asking for help when I need it. Because I know I can just get it done. But when I need something the most, I know because of that, my upbringing, that I have folks there that genuinely did care for me. And they care for me because it's me. It's who I am, how good I am, how good I was as a kid, and my character and all that spoke for that. I knew that I had a tribe there for me. So, damn, did I answer your question? I think I just started yapping for a minute. I don't like to be vulnerable, really, unless I have to be. And I don't like to use it to any benefit of mine. Like, I see people use their victim mentality, all this happened to me, so love me and all that. I think that shit's stupid. It's dumb. I really believe in God, and what happened to me was supposed to happen to me. Like, there's a reason for everything. I do believe in that. I look at this negative as, like I said, it's a power, right? At that moment, there's a power invested in me to figure out what I want to do with it. And I have an older brother. So I saw what the bad side could be. And I was like, I don't like that. So let me just go ahead and do this thing. Right. And then, I think it's created a good life for me. I've had a lot of downs, but like I said earlier, I met my dad for the first time this year, and getting to know his story, he's like fascinated of things I've done. And he's someone who's never like left DC or traveled outside the world. And I'm like, I've been to not 40 places, but 40 countries, but I've been to quite a few and repeated. And he's just like, oh, wow. He's amazed by it. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm doing something for myself. Right. So despite something tragic happening to me at a very young age, I think for my story and this life that we have, it was needed.
And on that beautiful note, a different format today for the You Weren't There podcast. But I think different is always very good. And certainly, like, I'm honored to have gotten just to have a genuine conversation with two new faces today. So I'm honored by your presence. I'm so thankful that you guys came and spoke to me. You never have to. And so I'm super, super appreciative of it. And I would love to have you back. So next time you're in the area, Ray, make sure you come and see me. Ryan, you're here all the time.
Yeah.
It's been a beautiful conversation with two beautiful people. And guess what? This one's single, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for watching every week. I love you guys. I'm always honored by the company I get to keep. I'm careful about who I put in these seats, because bad company does, in fact, corrupt good character. Yeah. So I'm very blessed to have had you guys today. And I hope I'm able to have you guys again. So on that note, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the You Weren't There podcast everywhere. We'll see you soon.